All right, so this is your review for the Chapter 1 test. You're going to have 12 problems, 10 points each. Okay, you're going to need to know set theory, which is union and intersection. I'll give you sets and you have to find them. Rewriting using rational exponents. So I give you something like okay. Roots, if you remember, mean a fraction. So this is going to become 5x minus 2. Now I'm going to rewrite this thing. It will be x minus 5 because it's a root. I know it's 1/3. But not only that, it's in the denominator, and that makes this negative. If you have a problem with it, then go in and take a look at it. Third thing, you're going to have to write equation of a line. More than likely what I'll do is give you 2 points. And I didn't tell you what form to have it in, but if I give you 2 points, you're going to want to find slope and plug into point slope form. Do whatever is easiest based on the problem. All right. Domain of a radical. So if you're trying to find the domain of 9 minus x squared, find out what makes the inside equal 0 and exclude from domain. So for instance, in this case, I want to find out what makes that equal 0. Or have x equals to plus and minus 3. Okay, so the question then is, what do I exclude on this? All right, well, the thing to do then is to pick a number. We've got our number line. And here are our points of interest. Well, let's pick a number out here like 4 and plug it in. What's going to happen is you're going to end up with 9 minus 16, which is going to be less than 0, which will make this imaginary. So anything out here will be excluded. And the same thing will happen if you plug in a negative 4, anything out here excluded. So x is going to have to be between negative 3 and 3. Okay, so what do we do then if we take this guy and I put it in the denominator? it's still the same idea. You figure out what makes this equal 0, and we've already done this. And we know that anything out here and out here is excluded. Now the problem is now this thing is in the denominator, which means it also cannot equal 0. So the only difference is you don't put the equal signs in. And that's the only big difference on it. All right. Solving radicals. So you've also done isolate the radical. Square both sides and solve. So I'll give you something like first thing you need to do is isolate the radical, so you need to move this over. That is square root of x plus 2 equals 2. Then you square both sides. Squaring the radical gets rid of the radical, so you end up with x plus 2 equals 4, or x is 2. Okay, the other thing you're going to need to keep in mind is zeros of a function are your x-intercepts or solutions. And one of the things you're going to have to find are solutions to things like this. And your instructions are going to be to leave in a radical form. If you give me decimal approximations, you will get no credit for this. All right, so we want to find where this thing is 0. The fact that this is in radical form means you're going to work with quadratic formula. We're going to have 6 plus or minus the square root of minus 4 times 2 times negative 1. The negative and the negative make it plus all over 4. All right, so now I'm going to have 6 plus or minus. Got 36 plus 8, which gives me 44 over 4. You have to simplify this. You look for your biggest perfect square. So what you're going to end up with is 6 plus or minus square root of 4 times square root of 11 over 4, which is 6 plus or minus 2 square roots of 11 over 4. And now you simplify this. First you simplify this pair, and then you simplify this pair. 6 over 4 is going to give me 3, plus or minus 2 over 4, that gives me 1, and that's it. Remember, if you don't simplify down to this point, or if you plug this in the calculator and you give me a decimal, you will get absolutely no credit for this. The other things you're going to have to learn how to do, and these are all things we've done, is solve inequalities. All right, and these are going to be things like if you have x plus 5, this is where you make the table, you find the zeros, and you figure out which ones are going to be positive. The other skill you're going to have is factor and simplify. And these will work with rationals. Okay, and what I'm going to have you do, you'll be having it, you have to factor the numerator and denominator, and then cancel out anything which is in common with it. All right, let's see what else. Oh, find x and y intercepts. And find symmetry about x and y axes. These are all things you're going to have to do.